Okay. So today we will start next point in pointer chapter, that is how to return pointer from a function. What is the simple meaning of that? How function returns pointer type of data. Okay, we know function having return type. Clear? Sometimes we give the return type as a void. That is, function does not return anything. Okay. Sometimes we can write the data type as a int. That means what? Function returns integer type of data. Only single integer data or integer value at a time. Function cannot return multiple values at a time using return statement. Clear? Okay, using return statement we have return only one value at a time, but we cannot return two values at a time directly using return statement. But there is one alternative for that also. How to return multiple values? Using call by reference. We have to pass arguments to the function by reference, and indirectly we can return the values from single function which is multiple. We cannot write return type. Return type is void, but we can return multiple values indirectly, not direct way, which is indirect way. Passing argument to the function by using reference, or it is also called as by using pointers. Clear? So next point is how we can return pointer type of data from any type of function. Means what? We have to design one function which returns the pointer type of data. Not single int, void, float, double, long, not like that. Which returns the address. What it returns? Pointer type data returns address. So we have to design one function which returns pointer type of data. Clear? That is function returning pointer type of data. That is the our today's topic name. Function returning pointer type of data. Clear? Okay. Next. Now we can take one example to prove how it returns the value. For that we can design one function. Suppose name of the function is odd number. This is a function name. Okay, so what is the function name? Odd number. What is its duty or work? That function gives you or returns odd numbers. Okay, so this is the function of odd number. What is it? Returns the odd numbers starting from 1, whatever may be the odd number. So user, what user required? User pass, any user pass the how many number of odd numbers you require. Okay, so this is a, suppose we want only first 5 odd numbers starting from 1, whatever may be. So 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So one argument is the how many number of odd numbers you want. Okay, so we can pass that as an argument. And what function returns odd number? It returns total numbers, 5 numbers. Okay, so how we can pack it? We can pack similar type if the numbers are similar types. Okay, odd numbers, they are similar type. Yes, all are integer type. Okay, we can pack it into one other data type. What is that data type? Array. Okay, similar type of data collectively we can store into single entity called as array. So next decision is how to store it, all odd numbers into one entity. Okay, that is array. And after that we can return it, pack it into array, and then package we can return to calling function. Either it is main or other function is also there. Clear? So first design the structure. Main focus is we can design the structure of the function, then logical part, that is body of function. First design the structure. This is a structure, means name of the function, what is the return type, what is the argument list, and body curly brackets. This is the structure, basic structure of the function. Clear? Okay, so first argument, what? Integer n. That is, how many number of odd numbers you want. User pass that value. This function odd number calculate that much type of odd numbers back into the array, and that array is returned to the calling function. Okay, so we can design the void main. This is our void main is a calling function. This is called as calling function. Odd number is called as called function. Okay, clear? So next thing is decide the return type. What is the return type? Okay, what is the return type of your function? We have to decide what is the return type. Okay, we can decide it. What is the return type? Previous that body of the odd number. What is the function of odd number? Calculate n number of odd numbers. Find n number of odd numbers starting from 1 stored into some package, that is here array, because all numbers are same type, so we have to use array here. Okay, and we have to return that total array to main function. That is our aim. Clear? Understand? Okay, heading is function returning pointer type of data. So how we write here return type as a pointer type? Why? Okay, we can just see that. Okay, previous that we have to what we declare one integer array to store odd numbers. So int, that is data type, odd is the name of the array. Okay, then subscript and specify size here. Okay, we can take odd numbers of array of till 100 numbers. 100 odd numbers we can store into odd array of 100. Okay, second one, this is we can declare. Just declare, not initialize. After that, because we don't know how many number user wants, how many number of odd numbers user wants, it depends on the n. After that, okay, this program actually we can implement all the things like function, array, loops. Okay, clear? You understand? Whatever maybe we have studied throughout pointers, we implement all these things. For example, now what we want till n numbers. Suppose user wants odd number till 5. User pass 5. Means what? Main function is a calling function. He call the odd number function, that is odd number. I want the odd numbers till 5. Okay, till 5 I want the odd numbers, and I will display that all 5 odd numbers. Okay, and calculate odd numbers is the function of odd number function or duty. Okay, so now we want first 5 odd numbers starting from 1. So how we can add it? Okay, where we store odd numbers array. First 5 odd numbers we want to store into odd numbers array. How? For that we can use for loop. Clear? So for loop, for now we want to store the index first odd number into odd of 0. Okay, for that we can show here memory management. This is our RAM, random access memory, which starts from odd of 0, 0 the index, odd of 1, odd of 2, okay, till last is odd of 99. This is the array, odd numbers array. Okay, previously garbage values. So after that, this starts I initialized to 0, I less than equal to what? N. But now n is 5. We want 5 numbers. If index starts from 0 and there is equal to sign, then not 4, n minus 1, because we don't predict it, na? What user wants. Here 5. After that, next call 6 or 8, 9. So n minus 1, because it depends on the how many number of odd numbers calling function wants. Clear? So 5. Now it is 5. So next is I plus plus. int I. Declare int I. Okay. Next. What is next? We want to store first odd number into odd of 0. Okay, first odd number into odd of 0. How we got the index? By variable I. So first iteration i's value is 0. So odd of 0 is equal to what? We want 1. Okay, so directly we can assign 1? No. Okay, for that we have to apply some logic. First is 1, second time it is 3, third time it is 5, and so on. Clear? So for that purpose, how we can write it? Suppose for that purpose we can take one odd number variable, okay, and which is initialized to 1. Odd number variable which is initialized to 1. Okay, so odd number, first time it is 1 plus I plus 1. I plus 1. Initially I is equal to, okay, plus 2. Plus 2. Because first time odd number is 1. Okay, plus 2, this that means 3. First time we want only 1. Clear? So how we can apply the logic? So this is our logical part. This is our logical part. This is called a structuring part. Okay, you can structure it. So it is wrong. So first time it is 1, second time it is 3. For that, what is the logic here? Odd number, okay, we can initialize odd number by 1. So first time it is 1. Okay. Next line, odd number is equal to odd number plus 2. Clear? First time it is 1, assigned to 1. Next it becomes 3. Next iteration which is assigned to odd of 1. So how it works now? Okay, so this is odd number which is in the scope of which function? Odd number function. Okay, after that I is a one variable, then odd number is another variable. Okay, there are total 3 variables and n, and again one is the n. Total 4 variables in this function, in n, I, odd number and odd number array. 3 variables are there. Okay, for that local memory management, because all that data members are stored on stack type of memory. Clear? Any doubts regarding that? Okay. After that, processing. I is equal to 0. Initial value of I is equal to 0. Then 0 less than equal to n minus 1. That is 5 minus 1, that is 4. 0 less than equal to 4. Condition true. Then entry to the body of for loop. Odd of I. What is I? Odd of 0 means this location. Odd of 0, this location. What we assign? Odd number, that is value 1. So 1 is stored into odd of 0. Similarly, I plus plus. Now I becomes 1. 1 less than equal to 4 condition true. Next statement, odd of 1 is equal to odd number. But what is the current odd number? 1 plus 2. Okay, first iteration, what is the odd number? 1 plus 2, that is 3. And 3 is stored into RAM. First iteration. In the second iteration, that 3 value is assigned to the odd of 1. So 3 here, odd of 1. Clear? Similar way, I plus plus. Okay. Clear? Odd of I is equal to odd number. After that, odd number plus 1. Now, odd number is 3 plus 2, that is 5. And that 5 value is stored into RAM. It is overwrite always. Okay. In that RAM, random access memory, on the stack memory, because all are local variables to that particular function. Clear? After that, I plus plus, similar way. So on, what? 5. After that 7. After that 9. and at the index odd of 3, odd of 4. Okay. After that, odd of 5. But what is the odd of 5? We don't predict because all these are garbage till 99. Okay. So as the loop incremented, if I plus plus, that is if I become 6, then 6 or 5, I becomes 5. At that time 5 less than equal to 4 means condition false, and runtime cursor returns out of for loop, means the curly bracket out of that curly bracket of for loop. Clear? After that, okay, means we fill the odd array by odd numbers till odd of 4. Means first 5 odd numbers we have to save into odd array. Clear? Now what is the function? Next step, we have to return that total array. To whom? Main function. And what main function's duty? Main function display that all first 5 odd numbers in the body of main function. Clear? Okay. For that, what we require? Return. This function returns total array, not single value, not one value at a time. We want to return total array. We want to return this total array. Okay. So how to return total array? We know name of the array gives you
base address.
Base address of the array. Okay. So what is our statement? Return just name of the array, odd. Okay. So what it returns? Address, not a value. If it is value variable, then if it is single integer value, suppose we want to return only value of I, means it is integer type. Odd number, then it is integer type. So it is return type is integer. But now what we return? We return address, because just name of the array gives you base address of that array. Means it returns the address. Okay. So we don't write here int. Which type of data? It is integer type of array, so it returns address of integer type of array. So here we write not only int pointer. Clear? So now our function, odd number function, returns pointer type of data. What it returns? Pointer type of data. So next line, when we call odd number function from main function, what? One argument is there, so we can pass one argument which is integer type. So we pass the integer value to that function. Now that odd number function returns integer pointer. Okay, so it returns integer pointer, means what is the catching variable? How we catch it? Okay, for the catching purpose we require integer type of data, because that returns address, and where we want to store it? Into the integer type of data. Integer type of means pointer type. Integer pointer type of data we require. Clear? Because it returns address. If it is returns value, we can store it into value type of variable. If it returns address, we want same type of variable for catching purpose. Okay. So how we can write it? Suppose integer pointer p, which is the pointer type. So here we write p is equal to odd number 5. That means here return odd. This return value is stored into p type of variable. Clear? All these variables are in the scope of odd number. Now there is another p, which is of type integer pointer. Okay, whatever may be the address. What is the address? Suppose just I write base address of this. What is the base address of odd? Suppose 100. So what it returns? Return 100. Where it stores p, because p is the pointer type which stores the address. Okay, so here p contains now 100, which points to the base address of the array, odd number base address of the array. Clear? Okay, so next point is how to retrieve the data now. We got the address, base address of the array. in P pointer. Now we want to retrieve the data, first 5 odd numbers, okay, from that array. So for that use for loop. Okay, starts from I is equal to 0, I less than equal to how many numbers we want? First 5. So 0 to 4. Suppose I plus plus, then again int I, declare int I. This I is different, this I is different because this is in the scope of main function. Initial value is now 0. Clear? Now, how to retrieve it? How to retrieve this value? 1. How we can retrieve it? Okay. For that, we want to print it. For example, above for loop, just we can write message odd numbers is equal to double quotes complete semicolon. Okay, this is function call. After that printf odd numbers is equal to double quotes. Clear? In that we can display all odd numbers. For that printf /n, that is next line, each number get displayed. Okay, so first number is %d. Okay, from where we want to retrieve it? From this location now. And control of odd of 0 is not in the scope of main function. Main function scope variables are P and I. We want to retrieve from that variables. So how to retrieve it? By using pointer type of variable. How? There are different ways. First way, how? P plus R pointer means what? P plus I means what? P contains address. What is base address? Plus I. What is now first iteration? What is the value of I? 0. Means plus P plus 0. Means what? Don't increment. Don't go to the next block. This is the first block, suppose. Array's first block. What is the second block? Next to that. Okay. Don't go. This is current block. So that is similar to base address of the array. Okay. And what we want star means go to the value stored at the pointer, means that address location, whatever may be the value, print it here instead of %d. Clear? After that, what happens? I plus plus. I becomes now 1. 1 less than equal to 4. Okay. So, condition true. Next, printf %d. We want to display integer type of value. From P plus I means now P plus 1. I now becomes 1. So, P plus 1 means whatever may be the address in the P location, next location of that address means 102 location. Okay, so at the 102 location, what is stored? 3. Clear? So next, first displayed 1, next is the 3. Same time. I plus plus. I now becomes 2. 2 less than equal to 4. Condition true. Next line. P plus 2. P plus 2. Pointer. Value at that location. P plus 2 address means P is now 102. P is now 102 plus 1. Okay. Or what? P plus 1. Now what happens here? Address of P remains 100. We cannot assign we cannot change the value of the pointer variable P. It remains same. Only what happens? We can calculate it. For example, P is equal to P plus 1 means we can change the value of that address location. Okay. If just P plus 1, P plus 2, P plus 3 means address of P remains same. 2 blocks next. Now P plus 2 means what? What is the current address of P? 100. So how it calculates? Runtime environment plus 2 location, not 2 bytes. If 2 bytes means 102 location, means again 3. Not 2 bytes increment, but what it increments? It increments 2 locations. This is whole block. 2 blocks next. Okay. So what is 2 2 means actually how many bytes? 4. So 100 and plus 4 means 104 location. What value is stored there? We can retrieve that values and display here on console. That is 5. Clear? Likewise, I plus plus it becomes 3. Now P plus 3. P plus 3 means current address of P is 100 remains 100 plus 3. 3 means 1 blocks. How many bytes required? 2 bytes. So 3 blocks required 6 bytes. So 106 blocks. What is the value present at the address location 107? So next on console 7 get print. After that I plus plus becomes 4. 4 less than equal to condition true. Next P plus 4 means 100 plus 8 address. That is 108. What value is stored at 108? 9. So after that 9 value get printed. After that I plus plus. Now I plus plus becomes 5. And 5 less than equal to 4 condition?
False.
False. Clear? Understand? So after that cursor, runtime environment's cursor goes out of for loop, and after that we want to stop here. Get ch and our program get terminated after this execution of curly bracket of main function. Clear? Understand how it executes? But till there is one problem. Okay? Think on that. What is the problem? It gives the correct answer. One problem is there, and which based on the lifetime, scope, that is aliveness, accessibility. Okay, I give one hint to you. If you run this program as it is, it gives you some wrong result. Okay, it compiles properly. It executes also, but does not give the proper results. Clear? Some problem is there in this whole program. So find out what is the problem. And that problem is depends on scope of the variable and lifetime of the variable. Means accessibility of the variable and aliveness of the variable. Means जिवंत किती आहे, लाइव आहे का डेड झालाय. Okay, on that basis there is one problem. Okay, find out that problem. Okay, just think 1 or 2 minutes. What is that problem? Or there is no problem at all. It executes as it is. Okay, talented guys, I want answer from you. Just think on that. Odd ones first. There is one problem. It does not execute as it is. Anyone? Okay, think on that. Lifetime and just lifetime. Accessibility and lifetime. Okay. First, this program starts executing from main function. After that, these 2 pointers get declared or memory management for this 2 at the time of compilation. After that, odd number function call is bind to this definition at the time of compilation itself. At the runtime, it just executes from this line. The cursor goes to this line. What is the value? 5. This value is stored into number n5. After that, what happens? Whatever may be, these all things are doing. Okay. Runtime environment does all these things, calculations. Array is get initialized, value is assigned, everything. Clear? After that, return odd, value is returned. What is the odd address? That returns into the P. But what happens? Till that, it's okay. Execution okay. But what happens? After that, all these are the local variables. Their lifetime is ends. After this curly bracket. This is a curly bracket. Okay. After executing this whole program, this function, and cursor returns from this function to again main function. Lifetime of the all these are the local variables which are stored on the stack. That lifetime is over. Their lifetime is over. They are not alive now. After returning here, cursor is returning here, all are dead. Means what? Address is stored into P. What address? 100 is stored. But at that address location, everything is dead. Now it becomes whatever garbage and whatever may be. There is no odd array is present. Understand? Values are not alive here. After returning to the main function, that array, odd array is not alive at all. Okay, which is dead. And from that, how we can access data? Clear? If anyone dead becomes dead, and we can say go and take one thing and you meet, it is not possible if it is a dead variables. Understand? So that's why lifetime and accessibility is most important part. Okay, so what is the solution? What is the solution? All okay, no problem. I, odd number, n, these are local. Okay, their influence is not here in main function. But what we require in main function, we want an odd number array. At least that odd number array is live till these curly brackets of main function get over. Clear? What we want? We want that odd number array is live throughout the program execution. So what is the so what? We can change the storage type here. What storage type? We cannot becomes now it is a local. Now we can become it is global, but global is not possible. For that we can declare it outside. But another storage type is there, which static. Okay. If we make the odd number array as a static, means what? Lifetime is throughout program execution, but accessibility is within that function. We want only liveness. What we want? Only we want that array is on the RAM, and we want that array becomes as it is live. Clear? So for that purpose, what we want to change the storage type of the array. Okay, then no problem. It executes as it is. Clear? It is one most crucial point and asked at the time of interviews. Clear? Understand what happens? Clear? And another solution is we can make it as a global array. If it is global array, then no problem. Lifetime is also throughout the program execution, and accessibility is through every function. We can access that array in every function. Note down that point. But if the storage type is static, then we can access that array only in the odd number function. We can access it like that, odd of I. We can access only within the odd number function. Clear? And but we cannot access odd number function array directly in the main function. But we can access it through pointer. That is called as indirect accessing. We cannot directly access. Direct accessing means odd of 0 gives you value 1. That is direct accessing of that value. And we cannot access like that. Pointer P means what? 1. Because currently P points to this address location. Okay. Or pointer whole bracket of P plus 1 means what? We can access second. But don't make mistake like that. Make parenthesis here. If you do pointer P plus I, pointer P plus I means what? This meaning of this is that pointer P means 1 plus 0. Now it becomes 1. Second time, when I becomes 1, then what happens? Pointer P means 1 plus 1, it gives you 2. So these are two different answers. Clear? So properly gives you parenthesis. Meaning of that, we have to execute first p plus I and then pointer. First we execute p plus I means p, that is the address, plus one location next and that value at that address location. Total. Clear? We cannot add two addresses at a time. Means p plus p1 and p2, two pointer type variables. We cannot add two addresses at a time and assign to the third address. But we can add one address with 2, one address with 3, and it is possible if and only if that pointer type of variable stores the address of array. Clear? Next point is every array, that is P, every pointer type of variable requires only 2 bytes for storage on the RAM. How many space it requires? Only 2. Means either it is int pointer, float pointer, character pointer. Every time that pointer requires only 2 bytes. Clear? Why? Because whatever may be, the pointer is character type or integer type, what it stores? It stores the address. What is the address? Means hexadecimal address. Okay? And every address, if your RAM is 2 GB or 3 GB or 4 GB, then 2 bytes are sufficient to store the address. Means what? बघा, पृथ्वी म्हणजे RAM divided into physical addresses means longitude and latitude. कुठल्याही लोकेशनची लॅटिट्यूड लॅटिट्यूड काढली तरी काय राहणार आहे? सेमच तुम्हाला काय लागणार आहे? बाइट्स रिक्वायर लागणार. लक्षात आहे? कॅरेक्टर अरे हा जर ऑड आहे, हा कॅरेक्टरचा असेल तर कॅरेक्टरचा बेस ऍड्रेस काय असणार आहे? तेवढेच बाइट्स लागतील ना. लक्षात येते का? सो फॉर इंट पॉइंटर, कॅरेक्टर पॉइंटर, फ्लोट पॉइंटर, whatever type of pointer type of variable, when we require space on the RAM, only 2 bytes are required. Okay, float variable requires 4 bytes, double requires 4 bytes, double requires 8 bytes. Okay, long requires again 4 bytes, but long pointer requires 2 bytes. Character requires 1 byte, but character pointer requires 2 bytes. Clear? Okay, understand the meaning of function returning pointer type of data. How function returns the pointer type of data? Okay, so today we will stop here for that point.